Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me. All your love and support, I just am so grateful for. Now, today's video is a little bit different. As you can see, I have my makeup on, and I didn't actually create a tutorial for this, but like this video, if you would want me to create a tutorial for this blue icy glam look. So today's video is all about tattoos and piercings. You guys were hella interested, and you always have been, in my tattoos, my piercings and everything like that. So thought it'd be a good idea to do a question and answer video for all your burning questions about stretching and pain of tattoos and piercings and my favorite tattoos and piercings. I know there's going to be a lot of those. By no means am I an piercing or tattoo expert. I do not work in the field. This is just from my personal experience. For example, for like how long they heal, things like that. Like, it's just personal experience. I do have a lot of experience with rejection of piercings and surface bars and all kinds of things like that. So I have gone through some bad experiences that I can kind of give to you guys. But you guys have given me a lot of questions to answer, so let's get started. Okay, so I have my phone here with all of your burning questions, so let's find number one, shall we? Okay, so the first question is from Hannah Bear 17. She asked, when did you decide that you wanted all your tattoos and piercings, and which tattoo took the longest? I have been wanting tattoos and piercings from a very young age, around 13, 14, you know, when I was coming through my like punk emo phase. I wanted to be a tattoo artist, so I would design tattoos. I even designed like a Halloween leg sleeve for myself to get. I had like sketchbooks and stuff like that. My mom has like ear piercings and stuff like that, so I've kind of been around it, and obviously like the bands that I listen to all have tattoos and stuff like that. So yeah, to answer that, from an extremely young age have I wanted to get tattoos and piercings. They've just fascinated me. They're another type of art form and a way of expressing yourself, and I truly believe piercings and tattoos are just so beautiful, and they can really tell a story, and they make you really unique. Not saying that you're not unique without having them, but I'm just saying that it's another side of beauty that some people in society are just like, the fuck. And her other question was, which tattoo took the longest? I think probably my two jaguars on my stomach. They took about 5 hours. Wasn't pleasant. Okay, so the next question is from Mallory Elaine XO. Her question is, what made you decide to go with runes on your face? Like I said, I'm pretty unique, and I love to push the boat out a little bit. I don't know why I wanted to get a forehead tattoo. I can't actually explain that. However, Vikings, runes, all that kind of history and culture has stuck with me for a very long time. Since I was very young, I've always been obsessed with it. Same with Lord of the Rings, and I just wanted to get my favorite quote tattooed on my forehead and just be different. I've got a head tattoo as well, so slowly but surely they're all gonna join together and be one whole cohesive design. Next question is from Better Girl. She said, I super want a sternum under boob tattoo. How did the pain compare to some of the other tattoos you've had? It did hurt, I'm not gonna lie. However, I've had my ribs tattooed, and that was painful, and so was my stomach. So there was a few places, especially when you come kind of around to the rib area, that were like really painful, and I had to hold my breath just to kind of get through the pain. And there were a few when we were doing lines where they were a little bit too scratchy and kind of like sends a little sharp pain like through your body, which wasn't fun. But I would probably give it, for myself, maybe a 6. But if it's gonna be your first tattoo, or you haven't got like your ribs done or your knees done or your feet done or anything that's quite painful, then I think it will be around an 8 or a 9. Next question is from Sophie Zoe Main. What's your thought process behind getting tattoos? Do you design them? How do you come up with ideas on what to have? Yes and no. There's a few that I have thought up and given as much detail, but usually I want the artist to have their own kind of signature style to them. So I won't give too much detail, like I want this color, I want that color. I'll say, for example, I want a dragon's head that looks like the head of a longboat, and Sean just freehand, he's got makeup on, but freehand this amazing dragon's head on my head. However, there are a few where I've seen the artist's flashcards and I'm just like, I need that tattoo. So for example, my knives were on a flashcard. My demon leg was on a flashcard. Flash sheet? Flashcards for when you're revising, right? My crown of thorns was on a flash sheet. So I have a few that weren't made up by me. They were already pre-created by the amazing artist. But that's the reason I get like, and that's always the reason I have different styles as well, because I'm like, I want the artist's artwork, not for me to just have one style. I love the artwork behind it. Next question is from Mama Diaries X. What was the pain like for your nipple tattoo, and did you not feel uncomfortable whilst getting it done? So the story behind my nipple tattoos is that I got it done at a London tattoo collective convention. So I was pretty much out in the open getting my titties tattooed. I did have covers over my nipples. For me, again, personally, they didn't hurt. Yeah, they felt quite scratchy. I'd rate probably a 2 in how much they hurt whilst getting it done. I didn't feel uncomfortable, weirdly, because I was kind of in like the tattoo zone, and I was just like, all right, it's gonna be a little bit painful, but we're gonna get through this. It's gonna be quick, it's gonna be done, and I can just cover up and be happy and say that I have nipple tattoos. It wasn't too uncomfortable because it was my friend that was tattooing me. It was way less uncomfortable. The next question is from Chris Johnson FTW. My questions are, we have a couple. Did it hurt gauging a septum on a 1 to 10 pain level? Yes, stretching my septum was one of the most painful experiences that I have had in my life. I would probably say that was up to a 9 on pain. You have the initial stretching part, which kills, and then you have about a week of a swollen nose, which just to touch is painful. However, I don't say don't do it, because I love having a stretched septum and I'm definitely gonna go bigger, but just make sure you have like stretching balm. That helps 100%, and do it properly. Research it. Don't stretch too quickly. It's just not good for your body. And what is the most painful tattoo you've had on your body? Most painful tattoo, I have a couple. It would either be my rib cage, which I got a skeleton down my rib cage. That was painful. However, that was my first tattoo, so it would be extra painful because I didn't really know what the pain would be like. But also getting my calves tattooed was horrible. I can't even explain to you. It was a different pain. It was like a scratchy pain. Getting my rib done was like a breathtaking pain. So I probably would say rib is worse than calf, and that's probably the most painful tattoo I've had. And lastly, how long do you think about your tattoos before deciding to get them? Not very long, to be honest. I've known for a very long time that I'm going to be covered in tattoos. So I feel like when I get tattoos, I don't have to think as much as those who are like, I'm not gonna get many tattoos, I want really meaningful tattoos. Not saying that my tattoos aren't meaningful, they're meaningful for me because they're my little piece of unique artwork, and have different meanings and stuff like that. So I don't really take that much time on deciding, because I'm probably gonna have silly tattoos, I'm probably gonna have some incredible tattoos. Like, I mean, I've got 2 dicks on my butt cheek, so I think I've gone past that kind of level of thinking about my tattoos and the consequences. So the next question is from Whitecorn13. Their question is, what are your next ideas for piercings? I want to get my nipples pierced. That's probably the next one that I'm gonna get. I also want to get a double philtrum piercing, like the Medusa. If I just bring this up, I've already had it done, but I want a double one, which means I'm probably gonna have to get a smaller one of these, and I'm probably gonna have to get rid of my smiley. But I also want to get more ear piercings, so I think that's probably the future of my piercings. Do you plan on going up in gauge size? This one's at 16. I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. This one's at 14. It just won't stretch, so I've kind of just given up with it, to be honest. I don't really care too much. Maybe. And what are your next tattoo ideas? Where and why? My next tattoo ideas, I want to get my back done. I want to get a full like Medusa back piece on my back. I also want to get a few thigh tattoos and some more mandala tattoos. I want to get my knuckles done really soon and finish off my hand. My head will probably be the next tattoo that I get, like finishing it off, and then I'd probably move on to my hands. And probably like my forearms are probably the most covered area, and my stomach of my body, so I'd like to kind of finish that off so I can be like, okay, it's done now. Next question, this is a really cool question actually, is from Julie's Gonna Hug You. Oh girl, yes. Which tattoo is your favorite that we don't get to see often? So you get to see my head tattoos and stuff like that. I probably would say, because you only see this half of my body, so you only see my head tattoos. I probably would say either my ducks and Yokurit pin-up girls are two of my favorites, or my Jason Voorhees ducks tattoo that I have on my lower leg. It's a Jason Voorhees mask with 2 hockey sticks going through the back with like orange smoke to kind of give homage. Is it homage? Homage to my boys in Anaheim. A lot of questions about how painful my nipple tattoos were. Next question is from Body Snatchers. Oh, this is a bit of a personal question. What's been your most expensive tat? Probably my head tattoo. I won't say how much it was, but that will probably be my most expensive tattoo, especially when I get my other side done. So the next question is from Quinn Foster. What is a good first tattoo, size and place wise? It depends, right? So my logic was that I was going to be covered 100%. Like, I was going to be covered from head to toe. So I wanted to get a tattoo that is probably in the worst place, that I've researched like where it hurts the most, and that is the reason why I got it on my rib cage, because I knew that that place was gonna hurt really bad, and I wanted to get that part over and done with. Even though I have a free space on the other side, I'm scared. I want to get something done, but I'm scared. So my advice would be, if you're going to be covered in tattoos, go for somewhere that's going to be painful and it sets you up for your next tattoos, and they're not going to hurt as much, because you're going to be like, oh my god, this didn't hurt as much as my rib, like, yeah, I can take this. If you're going to be someone who gets tattoos, like just a few, That's kind of a difficult one. Size, again, if you're gonna have a lot of tattoos, I'd probably get a big one. If you're starting out, maybe just a small one, a meaningful one, I think should be your starting point. Make sure you don't regret it. But I can't really give like advice. I can only really give advice for those who are like going to be tattooed and covered, because that's kind of my mindset. But yeah, that was a cool question. I like that question. Next question is from This Hits Home. How did you find your tattoo style? Did it find you? Do you do a mixture of different styles, and how do you find inspo for your tattoos? So, like I said before, I'll kind of elaborate. I don't look for tattoos. I personally look for artists who I want to be tattooed by, who I just like love their work and I want to have it on my body. So I have a mixed like variety of styles. I have traditional, I have neo-traditional, I have mandalas, I have black and grey realistic, I have very like colourful ones, and it's not like, for me personally, it's not kind of like, oh, they all have to like look and match. Like, fair enough, that's your style and I love people that do that, but that's just not me. I think because I'm quite a creative person anyway, and I'm quite bold in the way I look and dress, so I like to have tattoos that are quite bold and different as well. That would probably be, I just like being a canvas and expressing myself through different mediums. Next question is from Art of Defiance. What are your top 3 tattoos? Oh my god, that's so hard. Number 1 would be my duck girl. Love her. Number 2 would be my Jason Voorhees. Love him. And number 3 would be my head, I think. I love all my tattoos, but that was so hard. It seems really, it came off like I've already thought of this, but like that was actually quite hard for me. Next question is from Andrea Lamesick. I'm really sorry if I pronounced that wrong. How long did it take for your nose piercings to heal? Did you have any kind of infections? So this is gonna be a long one because I've had many experiences with nose piercings. This one was my first nose piercing, this one on the right. Got it done at Tattoo Studio, perfect. Around 2 weeks or a week, I got a little bump on my nose. Kind of looks like a whitehead, is quite like swollen and kind of hurts. That's quite common, actually, like really common. You're basically putting a foreign object into your body and your body's trying to fight it. That took, with cleaning, that went away within a week if you're really good and on point with cleaning. For my other nostril, my left side, I actually got it inside. So this one was on the outside and this was in the inside. So again, I just cleaned it. In regards to healing and also changing the bars, I would give it, and I'm not joking, like 6 months or so. Because what I found is that my nose piercing would close up so quickly. I had to take it out for school. And it would close up. I got my right nose piercing re-pierced 3 times because it kept closing up. So please leave it and don't buy any nose rings from Claire's because they literally were rotting in my nose. I took it out and the whole metal piece was black. Hang on, I've got to do a PSA right now. When you are getting piercings, please go to a professional piercing studio, a tattoo and piercing shop. Don't get your piercings done in Claire's or anywhere they use a gun, because you can get so many diseases just from the gun because they cannot be sterilized. Go to a place that is licensed and that does all the piercings with needles, and they throw it away. Make sure they throw it away. They usually do, because otherwise it's gross. But please get your piercings done with needles, not guns. Okay? So yeah, to finalize that question. I'd say 6 months to change it, and just keep cleaning it and making sure it's sterile. Next question is from Beautifully Insane. Any piercings that you used to have but took out for whatever the reason was? If so, what? Yes. I used to have my Medusa pierce, like I said. That fell out at college, and by the time I got home, it closed up, which was really sad. I had a microdermal punched into my face here. You can just about see the scar. That rejected, and I had to get that cut out. I had a surface piercing here on my head, just in front of my tragus. That also rejected and had to be taken out. And I also had a horizontal eyebrow piercing. I'm not sure, you can kind of see the scars here. Yeah, that also rejected. I didn't realize how often I would hit that part of my face when I was in the bath. So yeah, I also had on my stomach 2 surface bars. They're kind of like bars that are like this in your stomach. They rejected. I got them taken out, and I also had 4 microdermals. 3 of them I had to get surgically removed by a doctor and a scalpel who did not know what the heck they were doing, but that's another story. And 1 popped out when I was watching hockey, so yeah. Next question is from Kate.J.C. How do you do all the pain ratings of your tattoos compare? Which one hurt the most versus the least? In specific, how do they all compare to the sternum? Most would be my rib cage and my calf. That would probably be a 9. Least was probably my nipples and my shin. The pentagram on my shin didn't really hurt, and I also have 3 sparkles here, which didn't really hurt either. I'd probably keep that as a 2. I wouldn't say any was like 0 unless I was knocked out. And how do they compare to the sternum? I'd probably say sternum would be a 6 or a 7, so it's kind of middle. Shading is just blissful because it doesn't hurt, but when they're doing the lines, whoo. Alright, next question is from Little Sea Cow. That is so cute. I'm living for that username. What cream do you use on them? I'm guessing on tattoos. So, I've gone through many. I've used Aquaphor, which I do not recommend, because if you put too much of Aquaphor onto your tattoos, you will come out in rashes, really itchy rashes, if you're putting too much on. And then I used Bepanthen, which I love. It's super easy, it's super creamy, and does keep them really moisturized. I probably use like a thick, like Bepanthen, probably for the first 3 or 4 days, and then I'll just use a regular kind of moisturizer, one that's not really like perfumed or anything, just a regular kind of skin moisturizer, just to keep it nice and smooth. Next question is from Your Bunting Daughter. Love it. Would be cool to know about your leg tattoos and what's your favorite healing method. You will find out more about my leg tattoos. I am gonna do a part 2 of my tattoo tour. Now that I have my stomach pretty much kind of completed, I am gonna do it from the stomach to down below. That will happen. I will try and do that really soon. I just have to work out how I'm gonna do it. I probably will need help. And what's your favorite healing method? I've had multiple different tattoo artists tell me different things. So I've actually been told to keep the saran wrap. Why did I use saran wrap? I am not American. Cling film for 3 hours. Make sure it's washed and then moisturized, like that's it, and just keeping it moisturized. I've had another one tell me keep the cling film on for 24 hours, clean in the morning and moisturize. I've also had keep the cling film on for 3 days, but washing and moisturizing in between and re-cling filming it. When I got my sternum and my boobs tattooed, I actually had like this bandage, which was like a second skin, which I really liked. That was so helpful with healing. So that's probably one that I did really like. I would say for me, my go-to healing method is keeping the cling film on for 24 hours, washing and moisturizing with Bepanthen, cling filming it again, doing that for 3 days until all the gunk and the gross stuff goes, and then just keep on moisturizing throughout until it all is perfect. I still moisturize my tattoos even when they're healed. So this question is pretty much a frequently asked question, very frequently asked. Charlotte Rose Hunt has asked it here. What does a tattoo on your forehead mean, and was it hard to sit for your head skull tattoo? It means be at peace in Futhark runes. Be at peace is my favorite quote from Lord of the Rings. You guys know I'm a total nerd. And was it hard? No. For me, I actually became really sleepy and wanted to actually sleep. I think the pressure on getting my a tattoo on your head kind of just made me want to sleep. My head didn't actually hurt too much. Probably around the back was where it hurt most, but I sat 3 hours for that and I was pretty chill, so that wasn't too bad either. Next question is from Cup O Joes. How many piercings do you have? What are they, and do you want any more? So I have 1, the bridge piercing, 2, 3, 2 high nostrils, 4, 5 nostrils, just lower nostrils, 6 septum ring, 7 lip labyrinth ring, 8 is my smiley. I count these as piercings, so 9, 10 plugs, 11 forward helix, and 12 is my belly button. Next question is from Moon Pixie. Does wearing makeup a lot infect your bridge piercing? I read that somewhere but don't know if it's true. I get asked a lot if my bridge piercing is okay or if it's infected. Now, I'm gonna give you a lowdown of how to know if your piercing is infected. 1, the area will be very painful and swollen. 2, pus will literally be coming out of the piercing and it would smell. 3, you might even get blood. So, no, my bridge piercing is not infected. It's perfectly fine. It has moved. I do have some hard skin just here, but it's not infected. It's not coming out of my body. I'm not taking it out anytime soon. It's actually healing up really well the past few weeks. When I first got my bridge piercing done, yes, I kept all makeup away from that area. Now I keep it away, but I do go around it. Yeah, they get some foundation on them, but I clean my piercings very well every day. So please stop asking me if my bridge piercing is infected or if it's okay. Yes, it is. So that's the end of that question. With your question, kind of going back, does it affect it? For me personally, it hasn't infected it. As long as your makeup isn't infected by any bacteria or anything, and you are properly cleaning off all of the makeup that you are wearing, you'll be absolutely fine. Obviously, don't be really rough when you're cleaning off your makeup, because if you're moving the piercing, of course it's gonna start getting swollen, because your body is gonna sort of think that it's like an open wound, and it's gonna yeah, it could get infected from that, basically, I will say. Next question is from Cyberspace Baby. What are your opinions on dry healing tattoos? Personally, I wouldn't. I haven't dry healed any of my tattoos, but I have accidentally, because I'm really lazy, may have missed a couple of days of moisturizing. And I've actually noticed color coming out of my tattoos and missing parts. So I personally wouldn't dry heal your tattoos. They need to be moisturized. The skin needs to... Hold up. because I just realized something. Ben got a palm tattoo and he dry healed that palm tattoo and it looks sick. So I would say palm tattoos, dry heal. Everywhere else, moisturize.